Hi everyone, welcome back to Jonesy Chats Wrestling. This is my second video. I'm going to cover the subject of The Fiend, also going to cover Undertaker's rumoured return, and also just a bit of theory of what I think is probably going to go forward with the whole Retribution Fiend type thing that's going to happen, what I'd like to see happen and stuff like that. Also a bit of a mention of Alexa Bliss as well. So let's start kind of at the beginning then. If we start kind of with The Undertaker, so obviously it was announced yesterday via the reliable WrestleVotes that The Undertaker is going to be returning. He's going to be returning back at the Survivor Series, and that's going to be taking place on the 22nd of November. It's going to be the 30th anniversary of The Undertaker and the debut and stuff. I think it's really, really interesting. It'd be great to see him back. Clearly, they've got this whole Dead Man theme going on WWE Network. That's going to be a great theme. Following his last documentary on WWE Network, The Last Ride and stuff, I thought it was really, really good. So I'll be happy to see The Undertaker back. Rumours are it's not confirmed if he's going to be in an in-ring capacity. It's probably going to be cameos and stuff like that, looking back at his career. Maybe he'll be a guest ref or something. But for me, I think this is going to be used to build up maybe his Mania feud. And who do we see him facing at WrestleMania? That's the big question now. Who would I like to see him face? For me, I think the obvious one for me, I think it has to be The Fiend. I think The Fiend versus Undertaker. It's two supernatural gimmicks against each other. The Fiend is obviously going to become, he's been built as being one of the baddest heels on the roster following his demolition of Retribution this past week on Raw. I think the whole cameo and promos they can do with sort of The Fiend and Undertaker would really, really work. And you've almost got like, this could be very much The Undertaker's last match, I think, at Mania, if he does do Mania next year. So I'd like to see it. Imagine the work they could do and sort of the whole thing with the Firefly Funhouse, the gimmicks and stuff. I think it could be really, really good. I'm hoping this will happen, but that's a positive news. Undertaker's going to be back at Survivor Series. Big news, and because it's from WrestleVotes, you've got to go for it, really. We're now going to kind of go on to the next subject. So, next subject is what are they going to do next with The Fiend, personally, and the whole Alexa Bliss thing. So, looking at this one, I think The Fiend, clearly, they've done a fantastic job of re-evaluating Bray Wyatt in this character. Considering we've only really had The Fiend kind of since April, like last year. They are doing a great job of building him up and bringing him back up, and I think the Alexa Bliss thing is absolutely genius. They've never really done well. Once he gets the title belt, it all seems to kind of go wrong. So I'm hoping that when he's given this push this time, that he's going to do something. I think when you add Alexa Bliss to it, it certainly creates another element. It's something different. It's something fun. It's certainly something mischievous. What we want to see him do, I want to see him go back to the thing that he was, that doesn't really sell much, and he just continually beats everybody, really. I'm not saying you want to make him so unbeatable that that is the big shot when he loses, but for me, there's one or two things they can do to kind of make that. So, obviously, he's taking out Retribution. That appears to be the next kind of feud that's going on. I think it's a waste of Wyatt to a certain point in this capacity of The Fiend. I think The Fiend should be concentrating on the singles run. I'd like to see him face Drew McIntyre somewhere along the lines. But in terms of the Fiend sort of Retribution thing, I think what they'll do next is I think Retribution will probably get the revenge. It'll be Bray, obviously, as the underdog. You've got this whole Alexa thing going on. And I think that's going to be an interesting dynamic. I think what I probably would like to see is I'd like to see them get to the point where they are building up sort of Bray and making Bray look like the underdog to a certain point as the Fiend, and then getting Retribution over, and then obviously they can then pay that off. It could lead to some sort of match where Bray has a stable, as I said yesterday's video, and then we can kind of go from there. Where do I see it sort of going though? For me, there's one or two ways. Either the Fiend sort of somehow or another joins with Retribution, or he sort of is in charge overall. He's above Ali, and the Retribution are really doing his bidding to basically get him up the card, or I think they're just going to basically use the Retribution to be buried to get the Fiend over. And as I said, the WrestleMania match against Undertaker is the one I'd really like to see. There is another match I could see happening as well, and that's the Karrion Kross Fiend match. That's obviously going to be a dream match for me that would be WrestleMania worthy. Karrion Kross is recovering from injury. He's due, I believe, to be on the main roster. When he returns, I think he's going to bypass NXT, and I think he will be on the main roster as well. So I think it'll be really, really interesting to see what happens. I think with him, I think he's then going to basically potentially be on a push. WWE really rate him. He's really over and stuff like that. So it could be really interesting. In terms of Alexa Bliss, clearly she's got this new character. She's relevant again now. I think they've done a great job of building up this whole sort of change of her. What I want to see happen next, I want to see her sort of get a creature type character like The Fiend, have this evolution where she's almost a monster. Then you can do the Alexa Bliss and Oscar feud, and I think that would be really, really interesting to do. they're kind of what I think is going to happen. It's exciting times in WWE in terms of the Fiend and stuff like that, so I'm looking forward to seeing what it pays off. But no, that's it. It was only a quick video today. Please leave any comments below. Please leave a thumbs up. Please share the video if you like it. And what I will try and do, obviously, is do a predictions video for this coming week's Hell in a Cell when we have more matches. But you've been watching Jonesy Chats Wrestling. Thank you for viewing the video, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day. Thank you.